Alright, what is up, guys? This is weird. This is like the fourth video in a row I'm recording at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Anyways, that's beside the point. But this video is going to be on a topic that's never been asked about. However, this is something I actually am very, very interested in making because a lot of people don't seem to realize this. This video is going to be on the fact that Dark and Darker is an early access game. Because you might say, wow, that's a stupid video to make. And I agree. It is stupid. However, what's dumber is people that don't realize what the fuck early access means, right? What early access means is the game isn't fully released yet. I know that's crazy. That's insane. Oh, also, before I continue, once again, I'm just going to say it's going to be another rant style video. Probably not going to show anything on the screen. Don't have to worry about it. My face cam's on if you don't watch that, but that's weird, so don't do that. But anyways, you don't have to, you just play this in the background if you want, listen to it, whatever. But anyways, like I was saying, this is a early access game. And what that means is the game is not fully released yet. And like I said, I know that's crazy. The issue is a lot of companies will say, hey, our game's going into early access, but then the game's just fully released and they're treating it like a full release. They'll do like normal patches like every week or 2 weeks or whatever it is. They're adding very little content. And they're literally just pretending like it's a full game. They're pretending like it's a full release of the game. However, Dark and Darker and Iron Mace are not doing that. They are taking the correct path. And a lot of people are like, oh no, the players are gone. Like the players are gone. Like, oh wow, look, like we have less than 10,000 players on. Okay, yeah, that's true. It's the same thing as like, oh no, like what are all these changes? These changes are awful. They'll make a drastic change and they'll revert it. They'll make a drastic change and they'll revert it. Yeah. That's what you do in early access. It is literally to test the game, to see what feels good, and to see what they like, and to see what they want to change. And most games don't ever do that. But I see people complaining so much about things like that in this game, and it gets so annoying. And like they just forget that this isn't the full release of a game. Like they're just like, oh, they keep changing all these things that suck. All the players are leaving. Dead game, dead game. Like, no, it's not. Like, this game, let's just be realistic for a moment here, right? Let's just be realistic. This game has been out of early access since like what? I think it came out like what, August? So we have the entirety of August, September, October, and now we're going into November. This game has been out for literally like 3 months plus. They've added little to no content, and we are still maintaining 9,000, almost 10,000 players at 3 o'clock in the morning, or 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever time you're on. We're literally in like the graveyard shift hours, right? Because like you're like, yeah, well, there's players from other regions. However, I'm pretty sure NA is one of the biggest regions in terms of player base. Maybe China is too. However, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, the game pretty much concurrently has at least around 10k players, around 10 to 15k right now. We are 3 months after the game has been released. They've added little to no content, and the game is still pulling this many players. Not to mention, the game's not even on Steam yet. And everybody's like, oh, they need to bring the game to Steam. They've said before, it's not their choice. They have to wait on Steam to do it. And keep in mind, like, they still have, like, a legal battle going on in Korea. Like, it's not just because the game's out doesn't mean everything's over. Like, yay, like, we're all happy. Like, no, they still have a lot of shit going on with their game. And that's probably, I assume at least, why it hasn't come to Steam yet. Because they don't want to be like, ooh, like, they bring the game to Steam and then they lose their legal battle in Korea and shit gets bad. That type of thing. However, like, there is still a lot of stuff going on for this game. And to be honest, the game's in a great spot. It's like I said, they've added very little content. And so for the most part, most people aren't still going to be playing 3 months after. Because like I said, because there's like hardly any content to grind for. You've already done it. You could play this game, you can play this game for 2 weeks, do everything there is to offer as long as you're pretty good at the game. And then what are you going to do? I mean, you're going to keep doing it over and over? Like, yeah, if you really enjoy the game, which, I mean, I do, so I still do it. These 10,000 players, they probably still do it. It's why they do it. But it's just, it just really annoys me when I see people talking about like, oh wow, this game is so dead. It's like, nah, man, like this game is fine. This is like 3 months after the game's release, you still have 10,000 players playing when you've added little to no reason for them to play. It's like all they have to do, as soon as they start adding content to the game, players are gonna come back. Just how it works. The game comes to Steam, more players are coming from that. And then it's like 10,000 players, like, that's good. There are games that have been out for years that are maintaining 10,000 players, and like they're fine. Like they're I mean, they're not dead. They're not like super huge, but they're fine. And don't forget, this game is a white-based game. So how player bases in wipe-based games always work is when a new wipe comes out, the player base always increases, and then it decreases slowly, going leading up to like towards the end of the wipe, and it repeats and repeats. For example, probably one of the things is with this game is because they're doing such short wipes, you're not really giving people that much downtime. For example, like people are playing for like a week, they get bored, they stop. Next wipe's out a week later, like they haven't really like recovered from already playing for a week straight, right? Like a grindy game, you need some downtime to. Like if I grind this game for 2 weeks straight, I'm like, okay, I want to take a little break, and then I take a break for 2 days, and the next wipe's already out. It's like, I mean, I'm not going to be super interested in hard grinding again for 2 weeks because I feel like I'm doing the exact same thing over and over with literally no gain, which is the issue with the game right now. There's pretty much no reason to do anything. Like, literally the only reason to play this game right now is if you are a super hardcore fan and you really enjoy it. And some of the hardcore fans for the game aren't even really playing anymore. They've all taken breaks. Like I'm not playing as much. Look at someone like Repose, not really playing the game. A lot of the like high ranked players, like Healis, not really playing. Who else? Most of these players up here, not really playing. A couple of them, like Diablo, still plays because he streams. Most of the people are still playing the game pretty hardcore. All people that stream. But for like all of these players on here, like all these like top 100 players, all these guys up here, like 90% of them, they're not playing right now. One, because we have no leaderboards this wipe, so there's no reason for them to play then. Two, they're just taking a break. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it happens. You get burned out of a game, take a little break, come back when you're ready, play again. But yeah, this is not going to be a very long video. It's always funny to me when I see people complain about this game and like some of the things they do. It's like, the thing is, Iron Mace is doing the correct thing. Like, I'm not saying all their decisions they're making, like, when they've changed stats 3 times and reverted them, like, I'm not saying that's necessarily like good, like it's not the right thing to do, but it's good that they're testing stuff, which is a big thing. Go look at literally, like, please find me any other game out there, any other game company that will make radical changes to their game, get feedback from the players saying, yeah, we don't like this, they'll change it, but they'll keep trying stuff. Most game developers just get scared and they stop wanting to change stuff about their game because they want to keep the players they're playing. Iron Mace is like, yeah, like we're gonna get our game where we want it, and I'm gonna be honest, they're doing a pretty damn good job. Like, sure, we've hit some bumps along the road, but where the game is at right now is in an amazing state in terms of balance. Now, which we're about to get this really big content patch in November, which I've already heard some things about it. We're gonna be getting things like talent tree, questing. We're gonna be like very like basic versions, right? But we're getting talent tree, questing. I've heard there's gonna be more stuff to grind for. We're getting a lot of things in this content patch, and that's literally all the game needs now. The game just needs more content added, and when more content's added, players are naturally gonna come back. It's literally just how it is. And throughout early access, however long it may be, they're gonna continue testing stuff. I mean, that's just how it is. They are treating early access as a real early access. It's a testing phase. The game is not fully out. The game is not fully finished. It is literally just we are the testers for the game. That is what we are doing. That is what we are doing. So the next time you want to complain about something, it's like, wow, this game's awful, they're changing stuff. Just think to yourself, don't be an idiot. Don't do it. Because that's what you're being. It's like, sure, if you have feedback about the game that's like, useful, that's fine. Like, I'm someone who's complained many times about this game. However, I always try to like have feedback in there. I don't try to just one-sidedly complain and be like, oh, what the fuck are these devs doing? These devs are awful, like they're ruining their game. I try to give like some sort of like feedback regarding what I think needs to be done. Because that's what you need to do. Because that's all something else. Is I'll have a lot of people say like, oh, you're only talking negative about the game. Like you're the reason people are leaving this game because you're like, you're talking like shit about it. No one's gonna want to play it. Like, no. If there are bad things regarding the game, you have to say them. Because devs, while they may be a good dev team, one, they're a small dev team, so they can't catch everything. And two, they're people. People fuck up. Sometimes there are things that are oversight. Sometimes there are things they don't see. That's just how it works. That is our responsibility as a community to make things apparent to them that need to be changed. Or if there's something that no one likes, you have to let them know that no one likes it so they know to change it. That's literally just how things work. I mean, I don't know what other way to put it. But people will see you complain about a game or like, criticize a game and be like, yeah, you like, oh, like if you hate the game like so much, like don't play it. Like you're just going to kill it for everybody else. Like you're ruining it, talking so bad about it. It's like, nah, it's not how it works, man. But alright, anyways, this is a short little video. I just kind of wanted, honestly, I kind of just want to complain about people that say like, that say the game's dying, or not that the game's dying, because I've said the game's dying, kind of. I want to complain about people that don't realize this game's in early access, and that the reason that there's so many giant changes is because they're testing stuff. They want to see what feels good. But anyways, that'll be it for me. As always, feel free to leave a comment down below if you have your own thoughts and opinions on this, and if not, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.